Welcome back to Jedi Enclave. I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
And again, we're lonely nerds and we have nothing to do on the weekends, so here we are.
Yeah, well, it is inaccurate to say we have nothing to do because we're here doing this.
Doing the coolest thing, arguably, in the world.
Hell yeah.
So a really cool thing came out this last week, which was a comic book about Kylo Ren. Not the comic book about Snoke that was actually about Kylo Ren. Mm-hmm. It was actually about Kylo Ren.
Explicitly.
Yeah. Shout out to Star Wars Comic Stories, by the way, YouTube channel that has a lot of great Star Wars comics. Go check him out, like his channel, and, make him famous. He's really an unsung hero.
Yeah.
This one is... I was excited about this one, and then when I read it, I wasn't disappointed. Because it's like... The thing that I love about Kylo Ren is that they didn't attempt to make another Darth Vader.
He's attempting to make himself a new Darth Vader.
And that's the whole joke. But Disney's like, we're not going to make him like that. We're going to make him like something else. And they purposely made him so that he hadn't grown into his mask yet, and he's pretty much a child in a mosque,
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. This one is pretty neat because it kind of it shows off a lot of his personality tendencies that we're used to, but also gives us a better glimpse at why people are terrified of him, because he's a motherfucking Skywalker.
Yeah.
Behind the Kylo Ren helmet and everything, he's got that mighty Skywalker blood, and you don't fuck with a Skywalker, right?
Not if you want to walk away.
Right. So these guys, the whole thing opens with this old as fuck stormtrooper putting on old legit stormtrooper armor. Like
Imperial or First
Order?
Order?
Imperial.
Oh.
And this First Order stormtroopers watching him. Not watching him, he's already had his pants on. He's not watching him naked or anything. Yeah. He's like, why don't you use any of the new armor? It's better. And he's like, fuck you, I don't like the new armor. I like this armor, even though it's a bit too small and it hasn't fit me in several years.
Needs to lay off the space donuts.
Yeah. He's like, okay, fine. Wear whatever armor you want.
It's your funeral.
Yeah. He's like, we're here. And you find out that they're going to a place that this stormtrooper had already been before. Mm-hmm. Because he had mentioned something about returning. And they let Kylo know. And the next, I swear to God, I'm not kidding, one of the frames, or one of the next frames, is Kylo sitting in his bedroom or something on the ship, or whatever room that is, no shirt on, swole as fuck, and he's got his lightsaber hilts levitating and his mask is levitating and shit. I don't know why he would just sit in his room and do that.
It's because he's recording footage for Hux.
Yeah. Oh my God. Right? It was the beginning of a porno.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many saber jokes. Okay. So, yeah, there's just a random shot of him levitating things and just, I guess, reminding himself that he has the Force. And
you do.
It's exactly what I would do. Yeah. I'd be sitting here by myself being all right, I'm going to make that shit levitate. No one has to see it. I just have to make sure it's still there. Yeah. So you find out that they're there to negotiate with the natives of this planet.
Negotiate.
Right.
I'm doing the finger quotes. You can't see it at home, but...
Yeah, it's more or less kind of what, in that attitude, Kylo's so if the negotiations fail, the fleet's ready to blow them to fuck, right? Yeah. And the Imperial guy, or the First Order guy's yeah, don't worry about it. So you find out that the reason that the old stormtrooper was there was because Vader was on this planet during his, murderous tenure with the Empire. Yeah. And he was there to do a similar thing.
I mean, did Vader have a non-murderous tenure with the Empire?
No. No, he definitely didn't. All murder. No non-murder. Yeah. So he's there Vader was there to negotiate with the same people.
Again, negotiate in scare quotes.
And one of the cool things that this comic does is that they juxtapose. Well, they don't really juxtapose. They show side-by-side shots of Vader getting off the ship with all of his stormtroopers, and then right next to it, Kylo getting off the ship with all of his stormtroopers. Yeah. And Kylo asks the old stormtrooper, he's like, so how did you survive this when you were here with Vader? And the guy's like, it was luck. And Kylo was like, that's bullshit. And you're here because of that. You're here to advise me, so advise me. And he's like, all right, Khaleesi. And you find out the planet's called Benethi. And and that the natives there are very proud and stubborn, and that they value strength and size.
Okay.
And they're big. right? So they meet up with like the representative of the natives, and he's like this big, ugly as fuck, troll-looking thing, and he immediately tries to like size Kylo down. And he's like, "Why don't you take a seat?" And Kylo's like, "Fuck off! I don't sit down. I can make shit float." And he also just says, "I don't want to look like an infant." He's trying not to look small, pretty much, right? So like Kylo cuts straight to the chase, and he's like, "You guys are expanding all over the fuck place, and you need to stop that.
Maybe just chill."
Yeah. Also, you belong to the First Order now, so on your knees. And
it's a very Kylo thing to do.
Yeah. It kind of is. The rep was like, "Okay, you puny little fuck. There was someone here a while ago who kind of looked like you, and he was bigger, and he was taller, and he had a bigger dick than you. And you don't scare me." And like, Kylo's just like sitting there staring at him, right? Because you don't see his mask is on, so you don't really see him. And the old stormtrooper he's with is like, "Could you not irritate him, please?" And like,
is talking to the native or to Kylo?
The native. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
And so, but he doesn't like get all through the sentence because Kylo like is like, bam, stabs him right through the face, and not like in the most awkward way you could, like through the cheek.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fucked up, and it's like it's the most, because you really think that Kylo's there to negotiate.
No, you don't.
Well, I did, because I'm thinking, well, Snoke probably sent him to achieve a certain
it's
goal.
Kylo Ren.
Oh, I didn't say that he wasn't going to find a chance to murder some things, but I really thought that he was going to wait a little bit later to start murdering things. And he just, like, they get 3 sentences into this negotiation. He just fucks him up.
Oh, Daniel, you sweet summer child.
Yeah, I know. So the dude's just, like, dead as a doornail. What I forgot to mention was that during one of the sentences, the guy happens to get out. It was somewhere before he said he didn't have a dick as big as Vader's. Mm-hmm. He said, "Vader came here and our God took care of him."
Oh.
Right. Which is, I shouldn't have missed that. But anyway, so...
Seems like an important detail.
Right. So the guy dies. His advisor turns to him. And this is the only guy I've ever seen talk to Kylo Ren like this and not immediately die. Mm. It was like, it's hard to negotiate with dead people. And Kylo's response is, "Really? I didn't hear anyone objecting to my demands." And he's like, "Fucking millennials, dude." So they have a battle, right? Because they killed the big guy, and their god shows himself.
Oh.
And it's a fucking Zillo beast.
Oh.
Now, I'm wondering, because you haven't seen all of Clone Wars, right?
No.
A Zillo beast is a big part of Star Wars canon now because of Clone Wars. And there's I think it was like a 2 or 3 episode arc about it in Clone Wars, and they're very big. They're generally pretty gentle creatures, at least the one in this episode was. They're lightsaber proof. Like you can't like hit them with your lightsaber.
Interesting.
Right. So these guys apparently have been worshiping this Zillo beast. Right.
I mean, if I couldn't stab it with a laser sword, I'd worship it too.
Right. So the Zillo beast is like, "Hey, you killed the big guy, so I'm gonna fuck you up." Because I didn't say anything because he doesn't talk, but
yeah.
They do fly around. It's kind of cool. So Kylo's like, "Oh, by the way, the Zillo beasts are fucking huge.
Understand.
They're enormous."
Yeah, sure.
So Kylo's like, "I need a shuttle right now." And the stormtrooper's like, "Okay, look, you want me to advise you, I'm going to advise you. You can't prove anything to a dead man." Hinting at the fact that he was clearly trying to make his Kylo dick just a little bit bigger to be like Vader dick, right?
Yeah.
We're talking a lot about dicks this episode. My bad. Kylo doesn't even say anything. He just kind of stares at him and gets on the shuttle. And then I shit you not, fly up to the Zillo beast. Kylo jumps straight into its mouth.
I see where this is going.
Yeah. Yeah, because you've seen Lord of the Rings. And
yeah.
Because that happens with Lord of the Rings, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Anyway. Enough about that stupid fandom. Back to Star Wars. So you get swallowed by the Zillo beast, and the stormtrooper's like, "Well," he turns to the commander next to him. He's like, "Well, he's done killed himself. Can we please leave now?"
That's the mission. Let's get out of here.
And the commander's like, "Just wait. Yeah, wait for it." And you see like the lightsaber blade like shoot through the, and he cuts himself out of it, and then he, it dies, and then all the natives like bow and shit.
Hang on. If the Zilla Beast is lightsaber proof, how'd you stab it from the inside and get out?
From the outside. Their armor on the outside.
Okay, but wouldn't it still be impossible to pierce the armor from going from the other way?
I don't know. It's a universe where you can lift things with your mind.
Okay, I guess I'll stop asking dumb questions.
I'm sure I'm not doing it. I'm sure there's like some structural weakness or something.
Nah, sure.
I doubt the story group would let them be like, well, what about this?
Yeah.
So he just, gets swallowed by and then kills it and kind of jumps out and like lands right in front of him. And
It's like, sup, bitch?
yeah, the old stormtrooper is like, okay, remember earlier how I said it wasn't a competition? And Kylo was like, yeah, I remember. And without missing a beat, the stormtrooper's like, you won. And that's how it ends.
It is kind of hard for me to envision Vader, big clunky robotic Vader, jumping into something's mouth and then cutting his way out of it.
Well, Vader didn't win his fight against it. In fact, they say in the comic that Vader's mission there was technically a failure, even though he was able to subdue all these people.
Because he didn't so much negotiate as just kill people until they stopped fighting.
Well, they don't really say, honestly. I'm not sure.
I'm inferring.
Yeah.
Because from what I know of Darth Vader.
Yeah. What I know is that Vader didn't kill the Zilla Beast. Mm-hmm. I think that they must have come to some gentleman's agreement or something.
Either you do what I say or I keep killing you people until there's just your God left.
Well, yeah.
Till your God has no one.
Yeah, it's like I give a single fuck about God, or we're gonna kill everyone.
I can keep killing you until the sun explodes.
Yeah, I think they imply that there is some kind of arrangement come to because Vader knew he didn't have a way to kill the Zilla Beast or whatever. So Kylo, coming out of that, being like, "Well, I just did what Vader couldn't do," so his Kylo dick's just a centimeter longer in this instance.
Is Kylo a grower or a shower?
You'd have to ask Hux. He would know. Yeah. Anyway, have you, the listener, read this comic yet? If you have, let us know what you thought, or maybe what you thought of our poor rendition. Go ahead and like and comment on the video, subscribe, follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and we're also on various podcast platforms. If you have a long drive to work in the morning and you have nothing to do, you can listen to me ramble on about Star Wars and listen to Chris wish that I didn't. We're on iTunes. I'll put up a title card of the stuff we're on. So anyway, just remember.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent. Now get out of here.